Anyways, we are live. What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 16 of the Hot Stove Podcast. I'm your host, Zach Nunez, and I'm here with my co-hosts.
Hey.
All right.
Josh.
I'm Mark.
Is Josh doing like a, what are you doing there?
This is my new thing.
Okay, this is a new thing. A couple of things before we get started, I guess. Make sure to smash that subscribe button. Make sure to smash the like button. Make sure to smash that bell as well if you want to be notified of our new videos coming out. Make sure to leave a comment if you feel like commenting. Other than that, a couple housekeeping things. We have a new Twitter handle. So now if you're looking to find us on Twitter, you go to Hot Stove Pod. That's Hot Stove Pod on Twitter. No longer Hot Stove WMYO. We are Hot Stove Pod moving forward. So make sure to go find that on Twitter if you want to give us the follow, and follow us over there because I post memes on occasion. We should probably, at some point, I'm going to make it a point to be more active over there. But as of right now, it's just links kind of being funneled. But if you want to follow us over there, make sure to follow us at Hot Stove Pod. Other than that, subscribe, like the video, comment on the video. We got some basketball talk coming next week because I know that some people have been looking for some basketball talk. We'll have our Super Bowl preview the week afterwards. Josh, can you move for a second just so I can see the picture? Nice. It's not a phase, it's a lifestyle. I'll tell you that much. As the resident 21-year-old pop punk kid, I can tell you that it is a lifestyle, and I hate myself for it. Anyways, we are going to break down this past weekend's action in the divisional round as well as the upcoming conference championships. But first, we have our first trivia action of 2021. As I kind of stated beforehand, our trivia is going to run annually, so our scores have reset for the year 2021. We're starting over. We're going to tweak the way trivia works just a little bit going into the new year here. Whoever asks the question, say it's me asking a question, and we go forever long and people aren't like making guesses or like they just don't know. The person asking the question is going to get the point for that one that's missed out on. So yeah, we don't want points going to waste here, you know? So we're going to get started. Mark, you have trivia, right?
I do. You go first just because I have to fact check one thing about a question I wrote. So you go ahead and go first.
All right. So Mark is probably baseball, right?
Yeah, they're both baseball related.
Okay. So I will do the football questions first, and then we'll get to Mark's baseball questions. I have two football trivia questions for you guys this week. So first trivia question. The Kansas City Chiefs are the second team in NFL history to host 3 straight conference championships. Who was the first to do it?
To host 3 straight?
Yep, to host 3 straight conference championships.
All right, I know the Eagles went to 3 straight in 04-ish.
Specifically, sorry, AFC, or can it be?
No. Any team in the NFL.
Okay, well, I feel like Buffalo's run, they were a wild card run time. I'm going to go with the Niners.
No, it was not the Niners.
Can you repeat the question? My fact check required audio, so I didn't hear it.
Great. The Kansas City Chiefs are the second team in NFL history to host 3 straight conference championship games. Who was the first team?
The Packers.
Incorrect. I'll tell you, it was in the 21st century.
Oh.
What?
What? All right, I'll just say Eagles then, just for the mere fact that I know they were in a cup and AFC or NFC championship games.
Austin is correct. The Eagles from 2002 to 2004 are the only other team in NFL history to host 3 straight conference championships.
I didn't know they hosted them though.
Yeah, I didn't either. I didn't think that they hosted all 3.
The thread that ties them together, both teams coached by Andy Reid.
Andy Reid, yeah.
There you go. So that's a little bit of trivia for this upcoming weekend in the NFL. Another bit it's concerning a player this time from this upcoming weekend. Tom Brady has 32 career playoff wins. 32. That's a lot for a player. That's a lot for a franchise. So much so that there are only 4 franchises in NFL history that have more playoff wins than Tom Brady. Who are those franchises?
The Steelers.
Patriots.
Niners.
Niners are not one. Give me 1 second to write stuff down. The Patriots have the most with 37.
The Patriots was the most free answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Steelers are tied for second with 36.
Dallas.
Dallas is 4th with 35.
I don't want a negative, so I'm done guessing.
Oh, we're doing negative now?
No.
I don't know. Just my own man, maybe.
Green Bay.
Mark is correct. The Green Bay Packers have 36 total playoff wins as well. So there you go. There are 4 franchises in NFL history that have more playoff wins. San Francisco has 32. They're tied with Tom Brady.
I knew that. I saw like something about this recently. I just
I pulled it off.
couldn't remember.
It wasn't.
Yeah, I couldn't remember all the teams.
All right, Mark, you have some baseball
Big
questions.
time Joe never lost Super Bowls, you know.
Yeah.
When he got there, he won.
So I've got 2 questions with a possibility of 9 points.
Jesus
Whoa.
Christ.
Boy.
But the first one, I want you guys to try to come up with 5. There's 8 options, but all you have to come up with is 5. So there are 8 pitchers in the history of baseball to start more than 700 games.
Clayton Kershaw.
Jeez.
Name 5. No, Clayton Kershaw is not one of them.
Cy Young.
Yes, Cy Young is first.
All right. Nolan Ryan.
Yes, Nolan Ryan is second.
Oh, the guy who died. The guy who just died.
I'll give you that one. Don Sutton is
Sutton.
third.
Sutton. Yeah, okay. Sutton. I knew his last name.
Yeah. He's who inspired this question.
Okay,
Raleigh
that's what I
Fingers.
figured.
Riley Fingers was a closer.
Coco Chris.
All right, 2 more, and I don't get any points here. I wrote this question because Zach told me the new rule, and I was like, so there's a chance I get a lot of points here.
Yeah. Greg
Okay.
Maddux.
Yes, Greg Maddux is one of them. He is
Nice.
4th. You guys have gotten the top 4 in
Okay.
order.
Walker Bueller.
No,
Then
this other guy also died recently.
forget it. Let's Tom Glavine. Let's go for
No, who's the African American guy?
No, not Bob Gibson.
Oh, it's not Bob Gibson.
if we're getting him this quick, we might as well go for all 8. Oh no.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you can go for all 8 if you want to.
Oh man, I'm getting
Pitchers that died late?
Yeah, the guy in 5th died rather recently.
Tom Glavine.
He is very
not
much
dead.
still alive.
Didn't he die not too long ago? Wasn't it the whole bit?
No,
Oh, Bob Feller.
no. Did you just get Bob Feller and Tom Glavine mixed up?
Maybe, yeah. I could have
You know
sworn Tom Glavine just died.
No. Another Braves pitcher just died. Hint, hint, he's 5th on the list, but
Tom Glavine is not dead.
he's like 50.
Yeah, he's like 56. Jeez, maybe we shouldn't go for 8 because I have no idea.
We shouldn't go for 5.
Yeah.
I'm trying over here.
Justin Verlander.
No, but he has the most among active pitchers.
Uh,
And he's like 450.
did we already say Koufax?
No, Koufax is not correct.
Oh.
Koufax only pitched 11 years.
Oh, he only pitched a decade. You know,
I mean, compared to some
Yeah,
of these other
no,
guys
I
who pitched
know.
26.
that's true. Yeah, yeah. Here's the thing. I don't know baseball in my own era, let alone old baseball. So
One of
I
them,
gave my
It's all
couple.
old guys.
one
Yeah,
of them pitched in our lifetime, and is currently on the Hall of Fame ballot.
Andy Pettit.
No,
Uh,
who'd you say, Josh?
Kurt Schilling.
No.
Roger Clemens.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
So there's 5.
about-
Would you like me to tell you the other 3?
What about Jamie Moyer?
Jamie Moyer is not on the list, surprisingly.
How
I
close
Roy
is that
Halladay.
guy? How close is that guy? He played like 40 years.
I'm going to see where he is on the list, actually, because he's got to be up there.
Dude, if he's
Jamie-
680, I'll hang myself right now on stream.
Jamie Moyer is 16th all time with 638 starts.
Dude, pretty close.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 seasons away. Yeah, I guess.
He's still
But,
paid until he's 45.
But the other three, Roger Clemens was 7th. Phil Necro just passed away. He's 5th with 716. Steve Carlton 6th, and Tommy John 7th. So the guy that the surgery is named after had the 8th most starts in the history of baseball.
That makes sense.
And this second one's a fun one.
Okay.
This player hit 9 home runs for the Springfield Isotopes on February 20th, 1992, before being pinch hit for by Homer Simpson, who hit a walk-off home run.
Oh, I don't remember that episode.
Fun fact, never seen a full episode of The Simpsons.
Homer at the bat is a great episode.
A lot of people consider it to be the best Simpsons episode.
Babe Ruth?
I was there when Homer Simpson was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Is it Babe Ruth?
No, it's a
I want to
guy
talk
who
about
played.
integrity for the sport. That's like,
He doesn't have a plaque or anything, but they like had a ceremony for it.
if he had a plaque, I would have. I can't say it because that's a violent threat, but I would have been very upset.
He doesn't have a plaque, but they had a ceremony, and like some of the guys from the that were in the episode were there. And
Barry Bonds. I don't know.
No, it's a guy who played in the 80s and 90s who, for some reason, is a frequent guest in
Daryl Strawberry.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
Daryl Strawberry.
Okay.
I just remember because Mr. Burns is the manager. He's like, Strawberry, come here. He's like, I'm gonna pinch hit for you. There's a lefty pitcher on the mound. I'm gonna put a righty in at bat. He's like, but Skip, I got 9 home runs today. Hey, hit the shower, Strawberry. Get out of here. That's what I had to fact check. I was like, I think it's 9. I'm pretty sure he says, but Skip, I have 9 home runs today. But
All right. Well, now we're back to real life trivia here. I have another baseball question for you guys, and it's what the hell was that?
I'm plugging in my fast charger. Sorry about that.
It's a current baseball question, so maybe you guys will get it. I don't know. So, since the start of the 2019 season, so the last 2 seasons in baseball, Freddie Freeman leads the league, or leads the majors, with 338 runs plus RBI in the last 2 seasons. Who are the rest of the top 5?
Manny Machado.
Incorrect.
Oh yeah, he didn't have a great year for San Diego.
Runs and RBIs?
Runs plus RBI since the beginning of 2019.
Okay, so 2 year.
Francisco Lindor.
Negative. He's a very bad RBI source because he hit the top of the Cleveland lineup.
Yeah, but he still usually drives in like 95.
Trying to think about like MVP candidates.
Xander Bogaerts.
Xander Bogaerts is not it. One of them,
Marcelo Zuna.
surprisingly, not Marcelo Zuna. He drives in a lot of runs. One of them has been an MVP candidate in one of those 2 seasons.
Like
Christian
Trout?
Yelich?
Not Trout or Yelich.
Cody Bellinger.
No, they are 3 of them are
Yes.
American League players.
Okay.
One of them is a National League player.
DJ LeMahieu.
No. Also not a bad guess, to be honest with you.
No, but he doesn't drive in enough runs.
Oh man.
This is tough. This is a tough question.
No cap, bro.
There's
Not JD
one of
Martinez.
One of these would have been pretty obvious to me, only because maybe it's because of how much fantasy I play. So I know how many RBI this guy drives in.
No, Nolan Arenado.
No.
I'm trying to think about. I mean, I'm going team to team here. My brain's not computing.
I'm trying to think of good teams that would then mix a lot of.
Also, one of the players switched from the National League in 2019 to the American League in 2020.
Oh, Mookie Betts.
No.
That's reverse. He
National
switched from the
League to
American League
American
to the
League.
National League.
Oh. All right. Also, thought it was going to be a good guess.
I mean, I don't know about this one, but at the 2019, Xander.
I said that already.
Mark already.
Oh, you already said that.
Devers?
Man.
Rafael Devers is second with 319.
I knew one of them was going to be a Red Sox. I didn't know if it was going to be Bogarts, or Devers, or JD. But
hear me out. I'm thinking of an Astro. I don't know which one scores the most. So
none of them are Astros players.
Oh, okay.
Your best guess there would have been Bregman anyway, though. Jose Ramirez.
Not Jose Ramirez.
I know you love some Jose Ramirez. I really thought this was going to be a.
I do. No, so I'll give you the divisions that they played in 2020.
Okay.
The American League Central, the American League West, and the National League East.
Those are the last three.
Yep.
NL East, you said?
Yes.
Bryce Harper?
Nope.
I was gonna guess Eugenio Suarez.
Also negative.
All right, so I'm gonna go.
What about Jose Abreu?
Jose Abreu is third with 311.
That's exactly what I just said. AL Central. I was about to say White Sox. I was about to say Abreu.
That's the guy I was talking about. He's had back-to-back 100 RBI seasons.
I literally thought about him earlier, and I was like, someone's had to have said him. He said MVP candidate, and I just was like, it's over.
Jose Abreu. So the last two, National League East and American League West.
Wow.
Sorry, what'd you say?
I just repeated the
Kyle.
divisions.
Yeah, what were the other
is
two?
it Rendon?
Anthony Rendon is fourth with 303.
Oh, that's the player who moved out to the.
Yeah.
Fun
The
fact.
last player is tied with Anthony Rendon at 303. He plays in the National League East.
What is that? The Nationals, the Mets. The Pete Alonso guy?
It's not Pete Alonso.
I'm looking at home run hitters. I'm thinking RBIs. They just don't score enough, probably.
You could also think runs. Think about a guy who hits at the top of a lineup.
Nah. Yeah, no.
I'm thinking middle of the order.
I'm thinking dingers, dude. Why are you watching the games?
Trey Turner?
It can't be. He's been hurt, but
No, it's
Ronald
not
Acuna on the.
It is Ronald Acuna Jr. 303 runs plus RBI.
I guess two players on the same team is Freddie Freeman.
Yeah. And one of them was right.
It's true.
All right. That's that. We have our final question here. It's a basketball question. Saw this stat today and I thought it was really interesting. So I want you guys to name the top 6 players in the NBA in win shares in the 2021 season.
God.
Jokic.
Nikola Jokic is second at 30.311
Jaylen Brown.
What is the stat?
win shares. Who said Jokic? It was Austin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Jaylen Brown is not one.
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant is 6th with .246. There is
Paul George.
Paul George is not one of them. I'll tell you this: there's a 55-point drop between Nikola Jokic and the third best player in the stat.
And Jokic is second?
No, Jokic is second. Yes.
James Harden.
James Harden is not on there. Remember earlier, the reason I came up with this rule was because of the rule where I get the point is because of the guy who's first on this list.
Christian Wood.
Christian Wood is not it. No.
Patrick Williams? I don't
The only other thing I think is Chris. I don't know how to say his name. Boucher.
Boucher.
Austin's right. Chris Boucher leads the NBA in win shares this year with .322.
What is that stat? What does that mean?
It's basically, from what I understand, it's a composite of your efficiency ratings. It's similar to
Yeah.
WAR in baseball.
Okay.
Wow.
He leads the NBA
He's
in win
played
share.
very, very well.
By 1,100.
Yeah, I know he's played well,
Jokic.
but
Oh.
Yeah, it goes Boucher, Jokic, third place.
Oh, we're still
holy
guessing.
shit.
Yeah,
Right.
you have 3 more to guess. You have 3,
more.
4, and 5.
Oh, okay. Currently. Oh. Steph Curry.
No.
I
assume-
2 of these guys play for the same team.
Joel Embiid for sure.
Joel Embiid is third,
Yeah.
and he is not one of the guys that plays for the same team. The last 2 guys play for the same team.
Okay.
Only same teamers I could think of possibly is Sabonis Brogdon.
Nope.
Hmm.
Western Conference players.
Is this a good team? I'm only thinking about good teams.
Yes, it's a good team.
Lillard?
Good team.
Oh yeah, they're not very good this year.
Kawhi
It
and
I already said Paul George, so I'm assuming it's not Kawhi.
It could be Kawhi
Well-
and someone else. I mean, we just saw like Chris
Yeah,
J is
that's
top
true.
on this list, dude. Could be anybody.
yeah, I'm gonna guess
mean,
Kawhi. Is
hear
Kawhi
me.
correct?
No, Kawhi is not correct.
Everybody calm down. It's because one player I for sure know leads the league in defensive win shares, so I'm going to say Anthony Davis and LeBron James.
Anthony Davis, yes. LeBron James, no.
Montrezl Harrell.
Montrezl Harrell is 5th in win shares in the NBA this season.
That sounds like a dumb stat. I don't know what the stat is, and I don't like it.
So
I don't know what it is.
top 6 in win shares goes Chris Boucher, Nikola Jokic, and then a 55-point drop to Joel Embiid. Then Anthony Davis, Montrezl Harrell, and Kevin Durant are within 3 points of each other.
Montrezl Harrell's just too efficient. He breaks the stat. It was like Boban.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boban is technically still the most efficient player in basketball history.
Mm-hmm.
So after our first trivia barrage of 2021, Austin has 8 points. Josh has 5.
Big night for Austin.
And then Mark and I are tied for 3rd with 4. So we will have more trivia definitely moving forward. Yes.
Maybe me and Josh should start asking questions
I
Yeah.
mean, if you have questions, bring
So
them to
that-
the table.
so that we don't just dominate the points by just being the only
Well,
ones
I'd like to say that
answering.
Mark asked 2 questions. There were 2 questions that I was able to answer, and I got 4 points out of it. So,
Fair enough.
I mean, the reason that I'm not close is not for lack of trying.
Yeah.
But hey, if you guys have
Yeah.
trivia
I'll cook
questions,
something up.
I'll cook something up for next time.
absolutely go for it.
I get in the
Don't
kitchen.
got
man.
Next week we might do a trivia. How about maybe we'll do a trivia mega episode next week since we don't have really anything to cover.
Well, that's good because
Well, we-
considering the new rule, I'm gonna start pulling some esports out.
God damn it!
Wait, what about a?
Okay,
Oh, I
can
guess we have
keep
another
it
week.
to the major sports. Can we?
Yeah, I could do that.
Yes, major sports and then equestrian and water polo. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm fine with
Of
water
course,
polo.
of course.
A little snooker.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we could do some snooker.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely
Ronnie
had
O'Sullivan.
played before.
Oh,
Ronnie O'Sullivan. That's the only name I know is because he's been mentioned almost as much as Carl Crawford on this podcast.
Ronnie O'Sullivan's a goat.
That's what I hear. I hear he's a goat.
I'll tell you, for me, you can buzz in before I answer, but if you get it wrong, you're done. You don't get to redo. And my
Ooh.
Jose
Ooh.
Reyes or Carl Crawford. So good luck.
All right. So let's recap this last weekend's action in the NFL here. I mean, Saturday's games weren't really that interesting. You had the Packers beating the Rams 32-18 in a game that wasn't as close as the score tells you. Aaron Rodgers had his way with that Rams defense, and I do understand that. I think it's a little more nuanced than people might say. Because had Aaron Donald not been clearly below 50% in that game, I think the outcome wouldn't have been different, but I think Aaron Rodgers would have actually had like a difficult time. Yeah. Yeah. Because as we were discussing earlier, Aaron Donald will most likely go down as one of the best defensive players in NFL history because he's just that damn good. And Steelers fans can eat their heart out because he should be Defensive Player of the Year this year. So I don't know, man. I think the interesting tidbit actually from this game was afterwards in the press conference after the game. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Sean McVay didn't necessarily commit to Jared Goff for 2021. Not that they can do anything about it. They can't trade him. They certainly cannot trade him given how much money he's making. But usually Mr. Happy-go-lucky Sean McVay was quoted as saying, he's our starting quarterback for now. Everybody's going to be competing for positions. So,
wow. Good.
I think the interesting thing about the season when it comes to the Rams, and obviously part of it was that he was frustrated with how the season went. But I think the interesting part about what happened with the season was the Rams was that it seemed like Sean McVay did what he does, which is he fully changed the offense over the offseason, completely reworked it. And Jared Goff just didn't evolve with it. Like he stayed 2019 Jared Goff, which is not what they needed for 2020 Jared Goff, So I don't know. I tend to be a bit of a Jared Goff defender myself. I don't really like the whole system quarterback argument really for anybody. I can point to a lot of examples of Jared Goff making throws that system quarterbacks do not make. He's far more talented than just your normal, I don't know, Joe Schmo who can come in and do whatever.
Then you're Dak Prescott or something.
Shut up. Stop.
I'm just giving you an example.
Yeah, great example.
Yeah, more talented than you're like John Wolfer or something.
Right, exactly. We can get with that, John Wolford known for beating Lamar Jackson in college.
This is true.
I mean, you know how good that is? I mean, you know how hard it is to beat that guy in college?
Very.
Not that hard. I think he went 6-6 one year. I don't think it was that hard, actually.
I believe it was during Lamar Jackson's Heisman year when he was averaging 900 total yards a game.
Yeah.
Exactly. I still give the Rams somewhat of a pass against the Packers this week. Their offense, at least, because Goff clearly also wasn't 100%.
Yeah, and I think that's right. And also, he played fine. I don't think
he played fine, but you can tell that you could tell on the deeper throws that he was really struggling to get him where he wanted.
Yeah, they're dinking
surgery on his thumb 3 weeks before this.
Yeah,
yeah, and that's why I'm like, you know what? They played him because they didn't want to play Blake Bortles, and I completely understand that.
Completely.
I for one don't. I love Blake Bortles. That
This
guy
is
would
the
have went
official
out.
Blake Bortles podcast.
And that guy's been to an AFC Championship game rather recently.
Mark Sanchez went to 2.
Yeah,
True.
And Mark Sanchez was good during that time.
Mark Sanchez was never good, and you know that.
Mark Sanchez was good for those 2 seasons.
I don't care. He still wasn't good.
He was good enough to not be
hard.
bad. Their defense was really good those 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like the Jags with Bortles.
Yeah, I don't know, man. So I don't know. We'll move on from that game. We'll talk about the Packers later. The second game was Buffalo 17, Baltimore 3. Right, Baltimore scored 3 points. Yeah. Again, I think Baltimore's defense.
Buffalo, New York.
I think Baltimore's defense did an admirable job. I guess against the Bills offense, but also I don't know, man. Like I said, it was much of a do nothing game for me.
I think the Bills offensive line or Bills defensive line did a great job.
Yeah.
They really put the pressure on Jackson. He looked so flustered during points at points during that game. And you could tell the fans were getting to him a little bit too. He hadn't played in a stadium that loud in a while because 6,700 in Buffalo is 25,000 everywhere else. But it seemed like he was sort of flustered quite a bit out there. So I thought the Bills' defensive line did a really good job. Lamar never really looked comfortable.
Austin's probably just seeing my face waiting, knowing.
Yeah, go for it.
For him to say something stupid about how the Bills aren't good or something like that. I don't know.
Well, we watched the game together, and the game was much closer than the scoreboard shows. The game's 2 statistical anomalies away from a one-possession game. They held the vaunted Bills offense to 10 points, And Lamar
Almost
just,
like the Ravens also have a top 5 defense in
Seven-
football or something like that. That's
Yeah.
crazy, right? It's
17
insane.
points.
Cool.
but they were and Lamar was starting to figure out that defense. They'd driven down the field, and then he gets knocked out of the game. I just think that's a lot closer of a game than Buffalo thinks, and I want them to keep their hopes up. Be excited. Be excited. Happy to get screwed.
I think most Bills fans realize how close that game really was. I don't think Bills fans are overreacting to beating Baltimore like that. I watched it.
Are you
with a
too
Bills
far
fan.
central New York to witness the Bills fans, Bills Mafia?
Well, I watched this game. I watched this game with a massive Bills fan, and he was like the entire game, even when they were up like a decent margin, he was like, he just wasn't comfortable. He never felt comfortable during that game. So I don't know. I think people really watched the game and paid attention to understand that it was a lot closer than.
I don't know what it is lately, but like
I think Josh knows like 1 or 2 people that just make it unbearable for him, and I feel bad for you about that.
My hatred of the Bills have come to like a new, and it's probably because they're good now, and I don't understand what it is.
Can you like stop putting
they
in
went
marks and just be
13-3.
objective about it that they're a good football team?
They have a piss poor run offense and defense. They're Josh Allen can throw to Stephon Diggs. They get open.
And
that's
Cole
fine.
Beasley and John Brown and like
John Brown's been dead for 7.
Cole Beasley's been dead for a couple weeks too, to be honest.
I mean, I don't know. Sure, when they prove me wrong, Buffalo. Keep doing it.
Oh,
but
they're going to the AFC Championship. What do you mean prove me wrong? That's what they've been doing the whole season.
Win a ring. Ring.
I forgot. So you're making the that argument that you can only be good if you win a Super Bowl. I understand. Okay.
The same thing would happen with Dallas. If Dallas went to an NFC Championship game, what's that mean? I don't care. I want.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They also haven't made one the same amount of time as the fucking Bills.
You're right.
Oh, you guys have all won a Super Bowl in your lifetime, okay? So screw all of you.
No, I have not.
I have not. You've been to one. You've been to one. You've been to the pinnacle.
Dog, I was 7 when the Bears went to the Super Bowl. Do you think I care?
You count it. You should.
I don't count it worth anything. They're not good now. What does it matter?
Okay, fair.
What is the? That's what I'm saying. I'm saying like the 15 years of the past doesn't matter. Be happy about right now. Bills fans do have something to be happy about. They have a good football team that they can be happy about.
I loathe it.
I'm sorry that you can't separate yourself from the irrational hatred of like your 6 friends who like the Bills.
No,
too much.
It's the entire city of Buffalo. Bills.
He hates
turned
the city
into
of
a parking lot. Honestly, it's made me question my Sabres fandom. I swear to God, I'm starting to think about getting a new hockey team.
That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life.
Because of how much I hate the Bills. I've got memorabilia. I got a whole Sabres wall over here. Ryan Miller's my hero. I might have to swap.
I'm glad Josh is cutting out because I don't want to hear this stupid shit anymore. It's truly dumb.
And,
I'm surprised Josh is
guess I'd have
dragging on the floor.
I mean,
that's awesome.
Wow, they might be. The only thing I had is it must have been windy because Josh Allen stinks. I'm with Josh. Come on.
It was very windy. It was so windy that one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history missed 2 field goals that he would have made literally any other day of his life.
There were like 40-mile-an-hour winds.
It's just the Bills season. Hear me out. That's just all it is. There's just Justin Tucker missing field goals, Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes is getting hurt. I wouldn't be surprised if Aaron Rodgers snaps his leg in the 4th quarter of this next game. I mean, it's the Bills season.
Lucky that the Bills season happened against them with the Hail Murray. Like that's the thing that had the most to do with luck.
They haven't lost a game since.
Maybe they're really good.
Far less to do with luck than Lamar Jackson banging the back of his head on the ground or Pat Mahomes being concussed on a play that didn't even look like should have concussed him.
No, I thought when that happened, I actually thought he snapped a vertebrae.
I thought he broke his neck. I didn't think.
I did too. I was like, he's never gonna walk again.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it might just be the Bills year. I just feel like it's all falling together. maybe it was the Hail Murray that just snapped the universe into gear for them. I have no
And
clue.
sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's just a team's year. Do you really think the 2017 Eagles were the best team in football?
No,
Exactly. Sometimes it's just a team's year.
but I hate Nick Foles, so
Still never
that's a
understand
biased
that.
opinion.
I will never understand why you hate Nick Foles.
Because he's bad.
Yep. I don't like Joe Flacco. Same concept.
Yeah,
Bad
we're not
quarterbacks.
Ravens fans.
Yeah,
We're
but when
Eagles
bad
fans.
quarterbacks go on and win a Super Bowl, and then half of an entire fan base argues that they should keep their job over a clearly better player, you just start to hate the guy.
Honestly, it's probably started Carson Wentz's downfall.
Yeah, I kind of wish they never won that Super Bowl.
That's one of
Because
the
then
worst
at least
takes I've
we'd be
ever heard by
watching.
a fan
We'd be
of a
watching.
team.
No. It's not a bad take because of this. Because Wentz would still be good and the team would still be good. The Super Bowl ripped the whole team apart. At least I'd
How
be
do
able
we
to watch
always
this
make
team.
our way back to this?
Because Austin's the worst type of sports fan.
I'm a
That's
guy
not-
who likes to see.
Josh is literally.
I'm a guy who likes to see
How's
his
Austin the
team
worst kind of sports?
kind of like, I don't know, like I just like to watch my team succeed over time and not win one and then be a poverty franchise. So
Yeah,
that's
bye
why.
bye Frank
about-
Reich. Bye bye.
How about this? We had never won one before, and it was great to see our team win one.
Sure, but I would still rather take a team that is good and never wins one for like 20 years than a team that wins one and is going to be the Jaguars for the
I
next 20 years.
completely disagree.
That's
I
fine.
100% disagree.
I'm with Mark.
I get it.
I'm also with Mark. I would trade my left foot for a Bears Super Bowl if that meant that they were never good again.
Yep. I'd donate to help childhood AIDS.
It's not fun.
I'd
It's
do
not
anything.
worth it. It's all overrated.
I don't know. Maybe
Like
we'll
the
never.
Buffalo
Maybe we'll just never talk about the Bills again because I can't help but make people on the show say stupid things. I don't know.
We can talk about them. I'll analyze it. I don't know. What do you want me to talk about? Last time they played Kansas City gouged them, ran right through them. It was a close game, but they dominated them.
True.
Let's analyze it.
Also, things don't happen in a vacuum. You can't assume that the teams are the same now as they were back in like week 4 or whatever. I mean, come on.
I think they have a chance to make it a 10-point game if Pat Mahomes doesn't play. How's that?
Okay.
I hate it. I hate it here.
You
Why do we even do
really
this?
think?
Why do we do this stupid show?
It-
Oh, this is the worst thing I've ever done in my life.
I'm just saying.
What's next? The Chiefs won. I don't know. What
Yeah,
happened?
whatever.
Anything is possible.
That was a
Anything is
pretty
possible.
insane play. I mean, 3rd and 13? The guy goes just they let Chad Henne run around, scrambling,
Yeah.
dive.
And then he didn't get it. And then on 4th down, the nuts on Andy Reid to call a pass play on 4th and 1 to win the game.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Hulking testicles on that man. It's insane.
That's all I got on that game.
Yeah. Cleveland fans have something to be happy about as well.
I agree.
Do you guys like the old touchback rule or hate it? What's your
I
take on
don't
it?
like it.
I hate it. I think
I
it's
think-
so stupid.
In the instance where a ball goes out the end zone, I think it should be treated the same way as if the ball goes out of bounds. It should just be given back to the team that fumbled it where they fumbled it.
Yep. That's
Yeah,
exactly what it should be.
I agree. I understand the rule is like there's just a weird rule of like a
Yeah.
team possesses their end zone, so if a ball goes in and out of it, like it's yours. But it feels so punishing, and it
Yeah,
feels
it
like you're
feels
punishing
so-
a
it
guy
feels
for the
so-
wrong reasons.
It feels so antiquated to me.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't
Like,
know,
it
you're
feels
gonna
like
hurt a
such an
player for
old-timey
diving.
rule.
Yeah. Gross. You need Bill Belichick to to get these guys to stop diving towards the pylon. I guess. Only hurts.
Apparently, that's what Kevin Stefanski said. Because Kevin Stefanski said that their team philosophy is don't stick the ball out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe if your
'Cause-
players listen to you.
When you got Chubb and Hunt, you figure you'll just score on the next play. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's.
I don't know. I don't begrudge him for sticking the ball out and trying to score. You know, it was just
Yeah,
Oh, no,
you're in the moment.
He
in
also
90,
that was
in
targeting.
95, probably 90%. If you ran that back 100 times, he probably scores 90 times.
It's also targeting. The reason he fumbled it is because he got hit helmet to helmet.
Well, yeah, that too.
Like, so they also missed that call, which also contributed to it.
Yeah, I know.
So
Things happen. That's basically all I gotta say. And then the last game is what's possibly Drew Brees' last game in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't announced anything yet. Oh, Philip Rivers retired earlier today.
Yeah, big shout out to Philip Rivers.
That's another. Let's have that conversation in the middle of the show. Why not, right? Philip Rivers, Hall of Very Good or Hall of Fame?
Absolutely Hall of Famer. He's 5th all time in completions, passing yards, touchdowns, I think. Like,
Yep.
he's top 5 in those 3 categories as a quarterback. You're a Hall of Famer, my friend.
See, normally I'd have to say yes, but there's been, it's gonna be close. If he's in the Hall of Fame, like great, but like that's a dude with like literally no career accolades in terms of team success. Like he's a very good quarterback, but there's nothing to show.
Actually, 0. Like, how many playoff wins does he have? Like 2?
No,
Yeah,
he's 4. He's got like 6. I think.
Does he have that many?
4-0. He was 4-0 on Wild Card Weekend.
Yeah, so he went to a couple of
that's true.
championships.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's got at least like 6 or 7 playoff wins, but like never been to a Super Bowl. Never won a. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's difficult too because like there are so many factors that went into that. Like so many factors of the Chargers having historically unlucky special teams.
Yeah.
You know, or him playing in an AFC Championship game on a torn ACL. Like had he had a healthy leg, maybe they would have done something about it. You know,
playing in the AFC at the same time as Peyton Manning and Tom Brady.
Yeah, like there's a lot of reasons why he never won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean,
I could get it.
I think most of them aren't his fault.
Yeah. I don't know that he'd be on my ballot personally, but I wouldn't be like, he's not a burger.
Yeah. Or like the years where he had LaDainian Tomlinson and a terrible defense, or the years where he had a good defense and no offensive line. Like there's always something, right?
Did you see the thing where the 2010 Chargers were 1st in total offense and 1st in total defense and missed the playoffs?
Yeah. That was the really bad special teams year.
What a ridiculous stat.
Yeah.
How could you have the best offense and best defense in football and miss the playoffs?
They're losing every game by 1.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, yeah.
I feel like I could write the story of football and not say Philip Rivers' name ever. That's my beef with him. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything by not including him.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that.
Was he part of, or no, he wasn't even in the trade. Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was. He was, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess. But like that's like saying you put Ryan Leaf in the Hall of Fame because he was drafted before Manning. How can you tell the story of Peyton Manning without Ryan Leaf?
Well, I just say I mean I think this is why I mentioned multiple reasons for why I would make a Hall of Fame argument for somebody like that, right? Like Phil Rivers doesn't necessarily have the accolades or the like story, right?
He's got the
story
stats.
argument, but he certainly has the statistics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big stats guy.
I mean,
honest. But
yeah.
I could see it.
I tend to be fairly liberal with it because, like, I don't think that the Hall of Fame should be like a little boys club with 6 people in it. Like, the NFL's been around for 100 years. We can spare to put some people in the Hall of Fame, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
So I'd probably say yeah, but I guess time will tell. I think he'll probably get it.
I'd say he'd probably get in.
He had a really cool press statement to retire. So that was funny.
Yeah, but he also announced he was the head coach of the high school football team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to those kids. They're going to
That'd be
so
fun.
I'm assuming you all saw the thing where J.J. Watt told the story about how he yelled at a guy on the Texans defense that he was lined up wrong for the blitz, and he was right.
No, I did not see that.
Yeah, J.J. Watt was like, yeah, we were lining up to blitz Rivers, and Rivers yelled at one of our guys, hey, you're lined up wrong for the blitz, dadgummit. And he just knew exactly what they were going to do, and told the guy he was wrong, right? And J.J. Watt was like, yeah, he's wrong.
Yeah, that's high IQ football. Speaking of high IQ football,
Also,
what?
I just want to say too, how can a guy be that good at trash talking if he doesn't swear?
True.
It's amazing to me. Never swears. It only says "dadgummit" and stuff like that. And he's great trash.
It is pretty impressive.
It is.
Yeah.
Back to high IQ football and the stinky poo poo Buccaneers Saints game.
That game was not
Stinky
stinky poo.
No, but Drew Brees was, and that made me upset.
Do you think he retires? Does anyone here think he retires?
Yes.
Yeah.
Only because
I think he's for sure done.
It's understanding
You think-
what I've heard and also the way he was acting after the game. I think
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know, I think it's probably time. And over the offseason, we can talk about whatever shit show Sean Payton's going to try to run with Taysom Hill. But
I
don't know.
think even Brees wants Jameis to be the quarterback.
yeah, because he
said
wants
it's
his team to be productive.
Yeah.
Shocker.
I don't think. I just have this feeling that like as he waits it out and he gets actually like healthy and he has like working ribs again and he can feel better and like a shoulder that moves correctly, that he's gonna get the feeling that he has one more left.
And if he does, good for him, and we'll welcome him back next year. Like I don't ever err on the side of telling someone they should stop. Like I don't have Drew Brees' body. You know, I don't have Drew Brees'
Sure.
body.
Yeah.
If he feels like he can do it and he's
It's one of
mentally
those
prepared
things-
to do it, then yes, we will let Drew Brees play another year of football. You know,
But it's one of those things, Josh, where it's like he's 41 with a torn rotator cuff, torn plantar fascia, 11 broken ribs,
Yeah.
and a collapsed lung. Is he going to be able to heal from all of that in the offseason? I don't know. I like that's where it's like, yeah, maybe they just won't get like good enough this offseason. They won't get back to form where he would need him to be a productive
Yeah.
NFL quarterback again. So I think he's done personally. I mean, did you see him throwing passes, or like him and Brady were hanging out after the game, throwing touchdown passes to each other's kids? Like,
yeah, I don't know. I
it just
feel
seemed-
kind of
it
generally I
seemed
feel
very
kind of-
final to me.
I feel kind of uncomfortable speculating about that kind of stuff, right? Like, it's not my place, really. Like I said, it's basically the same thing as like, oh, I think he should retire. Like, I'm never ever going to say that about an athlete, because I don't I don't feel comfortable telling someone that they can or cannot do something, you know, when I'm not them, right? So like, if Drew Brees comes back, it would surprise me. I think it would surprise a lot of people, but also like I'm not going to push him away. And whenever he wants to actually step away, it'll only be a matter of time before he's putting on that gold jacket. So, yeah, that's that. But
If anyone has earned, I was just gonna say, if anyone's earned the right to walk away when he feels like it, and not when people tell him to, it's fucking Drew Brees. So
I'll tell you what. I'll go full heel and say, I think Big Ben should retire tomorrow.
now that
I'll tell a guy to fucking retire. Whoa.
if only if it's Ben Roethlisberger though, because like at least Drew Brees seems like a nice guy.
It's true. Never.
Don't say it.
rape
Don't
that.
Oh,
I know what you were
Mark.
gonna say.
Mark.
Don't say-
I mean, I just left it up in the air.
Dang it, Mark!
You know.
This is a family show.
I'm fine.
God damn it.
I'm fine throwing that out there.
This is a family show, Mark.
Yeah.
Never convicted, but he probably did it. Anyways,
He certainly did.
back to the game at hand. I don't know. I think I told somebody this past weekend that I thought the outcome of this Saints Bucks game was going to largely influence the outcome of the NFC Championship, because I thought both of those teams presented some sort of a stylistic mismatch in a matchup against Green Bay. Now with New Orleans, I thought that they would pose a worse matchup for a better matchup for Green Bay. Like I said, I think I would, if I were Green Bay, I would rather want to play New Orleans, because Green Bay's strengths, right, are their offensive line, the Aaron Rodgers' ability to get the ball out quickly, and conversely, New Orleans' strength is their pass rush, right? Like they have one of the best pass rushers in the NFL.
Mhm.
So I think Aaron Rodgers would have been able to exploit that. But I think and on the flip side, I think their defense would be able to, like, their coverage is good enough that, the Packers don't necessarily need to rely on having a pass rush that isn't quite there. It's gotten better over the course of the season, but that's beside the point. Well, the matchup we do have, and we'll get into this, will be our first preview, I guess. The matchup we do have is Packers Bucks in the rematch of the century. But I also think that watching that first game tells us absolutely nothing about this NFC Championship game. I know the Bucks won 30 something, 40 something to not a lot.
38 to yeah.
Yeah, and I think some of that is attributed to the game really snowballed really quickly. The Aaron Rodgers turning the ball over, the pick six, and then the following interception, and it seemed really like Aaron Rodgers is the ultimate, you don't want to piss him off kind of quarterback. Like Aaron Rodgers is one of the examples of quarterbacks who, if you make him upset, he's going to play better. 100%. But it really seemed in that first matchup that Ndamukong Suh specifically was able to tap into what he did back in Detroit and get inside of Aaron Rodgers' head and just confuse the hell out of him and make him upset and make him frustrated and force him to miss throws. And I don't necessarily think that that's going to happen automatically again this time around. But I do think, for me, the most interesting matchup in this upcoming game is going to be between now I wish I could remember his name. The interior rush, specifically Kenny Clark, and the Bucks offensive lineman whose name I can't remember, the guy they pulled up from the practice squad for this past weekend.
That the guy that was John with the Saints player that pulled down, that linebacker, the white long hair.
Maybe. I don't really know. Whoever it is, he played okay against the Saints, but also he was on the practice squad this season for a reason, right? And I think if Green Bay is able to get this interior pressure, that's what they're going to need. They're going to need Kenny Clark to step up and have a big game. They're going to need Zadarius Smith to step up and have a big game, even with the fact that the Bucks offensive tackles are easily the strength of their offensive line. Like Tristan Wirfs, in my mind, it should be a candidate for Offensive Rookie of the Year. He won't win it because Justin Jefferson set all of the records. But Tristan Wirfs is probably second for me. He's been so good this year for the Bucs so far. But I think since Green Bay's weaknesses are over the middle of the field, specifically with their linebackers I think getting pressure on Tom Brady is going to be the key to the game for the Packers. Because I don't think the Packers want to get in a track meet with a team with as many weapons, assuming Antonio Brown is healthy, with as many weapons as Tampa Bay has. If they're going to attack the middle of the field, it could be a big Chris Godwin game. It could be an Antonio Brown game. It could be a Gronk game. It could be a Cameron Brate game for all we know. They could throw it to Leonard Fournette a bunch out of the backfield. They have so many ways to attack that specific area that I think it's going to be Green Bay's pass rush that's going to have to step up if they want to have a chance. I expect the game to be close, right? I'm not going to come in here and say I expect the visiting team to, get play in a blowout or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But I think that's going to be the game plan if Green Bay wants to come out here and that. I think that's going to be the key to winning this game for the Packers. What do you guys think?
2 words: playoff Lenny. And a few words after that, doesn't matter. Leonard Fournette isn't that good. No, I think the Packers win. I completely agree with you that you shouldn't piss off Aaron Rodgers. And I think this is going to be one of those, oh, wait, Aaron Rodgers is 25 for 27 for 330 yards and 4 touchdowns. Oh. It just, everything about this game screams Aaron Rodgers wants to beat Tom Brady in the NFC Championship game. I think that is all Aaron Rodgers is thinking about. And I think if he gets that into his head that he can do it because everyone knows he can, I think that the Packers win this game.
I mean, honestly, it was all going to come down to the weather. And I just looked up a tentative forecast has it at 26 degrees, 40% precipitation, likely snow. Like, I really like the Bucks, and I think they're red hot right now. But if it's a snow battle and they just have to get gritty and outrun Green Bay, I think that's not ideal at all.
Yeah.
But if Tom Brady can unleash, get back there, throw the ball like the old man can, I believe in it. Also, I'm going to go on the record here right now, and if Tom Brady can win this Super Bowl right now, this year, I will buy the TB12 method, and I will complete the TB12 method. While I'm with the show, I'll give you videos. It's like $500. I'll buy it. I'm gonna buy it, and I'm gonna complete the TB12 method with Tom, me and him.
You and Tom.
See, Josh, this Brady guy playing down in Florida, he doesn't know what it's like to play in the snow.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't anticipate the snow being that much of a factor, given Brady played in Massachusetts for his entire career before today.
Yeah, but I mean, other than Antonio Brown, who else did for the Bucs?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really think the snow is as much of a factor.
I'll tell you what, Leonard Fournette in the snow sounds like me running around on the football field.
Yeah, well, then they'll just give it to Ronald Jones because maybe Bruce Arians will finally realize that he's better.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's true.
maybe Bruce Arians will finally get in his thick skull that Ronald Jones is better.
I think Bruce Arians thinks running back should be banned from the NFL.
He obviously thinks good running back should be banned from the NFL because he went out of his way to sign Leonard Fournette and LaShawn McCoy.
No more running back. Get him out of here. You can throw to a fullback every once in a while, but that's it.
No risky, no bisky.
No surprise here. I'm the biased guy. My favorite player is going to dominate this weekend. Devontae Adams. I mean, Carlton Davis is limping off the field. Who's going to cover this man? They're going to have to run. I mean, Bruce Arians is going to have to start coaching. You know, he said the other day, I just let Tom Brady coach all the time. No, you're going to have to start coaching, figure something out with your D coordinator. I mean, who's going to guard that man? He gets open on every play. I feel like he just creates such openings for this offense. Like, who would have thought Valdez-Scantling, Alan Lazard, I mean, Robert Tonyan. These guys are getting wide open on plays because they're so good at decoying Adams and using him in positions where teams just don't know how to cover everybody. And I feel like their play calling is like if you combine the Galaxy brain butt buddies. Like, if you combine their brains, that's the play calling this season. It's kind of insane. Although I do agree that Tampa Bay matches up better. I do like the way they match up against Green Bay, but I just feel like Devontae Adams, although I hate receivers, don't get me wrong. I just feel like he's an X factor that can't be tamed.
I hate wide receivers, but goddamn do I love me some Devontae Adams.
Usually I wouldn't come out and say a wide receiver is going to change the course of a game. I kept saying all year, oh, come on, DeAndre Hopkins doesn't actually win them games.
They changed the course of the game more than running backs do. I tell you that much.
True. Then I watched DeAndre Hopkins catch a Hail Mary, and then I watched, like, 2 weeks later, DeAndre Hopkins make, like, a one-handed back shoulder catch to take the lead against the Eagles, and I was like, all right, well, okay, maybe receivers do.
Maybe receivers do impact the game. Maybe.
So, I don't know. I think that's just going to be an amazing game. You know, usually I'm not a guy who pushes narratives. I usually just like the matchup like you were talking about, Zach, but this might be, like what Mark was saying, this might be a narrative game for Aaron Rodgers.
I think that's exactly what I think. If anyone buys into a narrative, it's Aaron Rodgers.
I like how Mark didn't focus on any of like the X's and O's behind the game. He just focused on the narrative.
No.
Mark is a strictly narrative
on the narrative for this game.
He's strictly narrative.
You guys know the X's and O's of football better than I do. Like, yeah, sure, I understand them, but I like when looking in the playoffs, I don't care about them.
So if we're talking about narratives, right? Do you think Josh Allen takes the narrative of like, wow, did Mahomes try and pretend he was going through a table and got a concussion like our fans? I have to do it too.
What?
I do think the Bills have a much better narrative than the Chiefs do. That's what you're asking.
I'm thinking that Josh Allen is a little jealous of Pat Mahomes' concussion and might do some dangerous.
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, but okay then.
I don't know, man. He's got the itch, bro.
I think I'll take Tampa Bay this weekend. I'll go and say it. Why not? Right? I'm in on the TB12 method. I think Tampa Bay's defense creates a really bad matchup for Green Bay. I don't know. I kind of laid out the reasons as to why.
Give me Green Bay minus 20.5.
You need to be stopped.
That's a line right there. That's
Jair Alexander, did you see the stat of the last game? He's the first cornerback in playoff history to give up negative yards in a game of the people he's guarding. He gave up -3 yards last game.
Yeah, he's good at football. If anybody was wondering. He's quite good.
The question is, can he guard everyone in Tampa Bay?
Yeah. No is the answer.
No,
Like I
think you can.
I think he can.
No, I'll go ahead and say Green Bay puts one defensive player out there.
Oh,
That's
I don't know.
That's a move.
I think we got what we wanted, though, right? This was the games we wanted. If we could have handpicked them.
I think these two games are like the best case scenario for the NFL. And not even in terms of like narrative or whatever, but in terms of like product. Like I think these are the best two possible games we could have had in the conference championships. They're matchups we haven't seen super often, right? I mean, both these teams played each other earlier in the season, but we don't see Brees, Aaron Rodgers very often. We haven't seen it in the playoffs. Some people make the argument for another Kansas City Baltimore matchup, but I don't know. I think Buffalo is better suited to play against Kansas City
for sure
because they don't have Greg Roman as their offensive coordinator, who will panic after one possession.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that they have like 3 Lamar Jacksons on one team too.
Yeah,
just like worse ones, but like, yeah, it was crazy watching that backup come out and just like do the same exact thing. I was like, this is their 4th stringer. Where do they find these guys?
I don't know what to say. But yeah, I think the games are going to be good. I'm excited. I think this Kansas City Buffalo game, I'm going to approach it like right now, talking about it, assuming Patrick Mahomes is going to play. Because everything I've seen so far leads me to believe that. I think this game is honestly fascinating, and it's another instance of their earlier matchup in the season tells me absolutely nothing about what's going to happen this weekend. If Kansas City is going to go in with Darwin Thompson as their starting running back and not, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who might play, from what I understand, he's practicing this week, so who knows? But I also think Buffalo's defense has greatly improved since the first time they played each other. I think Matt Milano specifically not playing in that first matchup was a big thing behind it. Like the splits with Matt Milano on and off of the field, regardless of how bad he is in pass coverage, because he's not good in coverage at all. The splits against the run and against tight ends specifically were very dramatic when he was on and off the field. So I think having Matt Milano back is going to be a good thing. I think Jerry Hughes has been playing really, really well and generating the pass rush for the Bills defense. So I think I still lean Kansas City, even though I think Kansas City's defense is not good. Just frankly, like they're actually just not good. So I think this game is in an ideal world, this game is a track meet, right? Like in an ideal world, this game is like shootout of the century kind of thing. Because I think Buffalo's proved over the last, I don't know, since the Hail Murray, whenever that was, like 8 weeks or so, that they can hang in the same way that the Chiefs can hang, right? Like we talk about Buffalo's run defense, which is really bad, but also like, I don't know. I think the Chiefs, having won a Super Bowl last year, are an example of how you don't have to run the football to be a good offense. You can be one-dimensional if that dimension is the best dimension in all of football. Like you don't have to run the football when you pass the football at 9 yards per attempt. So I think this game is pretty fascinating because I think these teams are very similar, honestly. I think Kansas City has too many weapons to contest with, right? Like, sure, you can have somebody take away Tyreek Hill, but then you have Travis Kelce. And if you somehow manage to take both of them away, you leave Mecole Hardman, who can catch a 70-yard touchdown literally any play wide open. You leave Sammy Watkins wide open. And it's the same thing with the Bills, right? Like, you can take away Stephon Diggs. Psych. No, you can't. But even if you tried, then what? You play a bunch of zone and you have Cole Beasley, the human zone beater, go off for like 120 yards on you. Okay, if you manage to take the both of them away, you have the combination of speed with John Brown, Gabriel Davis, and Isaiah McKenzie that makes things a literal hell for defenses to try and cover over the top. So I think the teams are pretty similar, honestly. Like I said, I'm leaning towards Kansas City, and I think what it's going to take is a performance that we haven't seen yet from Pat Mahomes, assuming he's healthy. That's going to take a performance we haven't seen yet from Pat Mahomes for the Bills to jump out and win this game. Like, they're going to have to force turnovers at a clip. Like, it's not just going to be like one random interception in the second quarter. They're going to have to like jump on it multiple times. They're going to have to force him to be uncomfortable. And they're going to have to exploit specifically the one negative that I can see at Pat Mahomes' game. And I've talked about it before on this podcast, that Pat Mahomes has a tendency to roam. He has a tendency to not want to step up in the pocket. If he's getting pressure, he just keeps going backwards. You're going to have to try to exploit that. And obviously that is a lot taller of a task than it's a lot easier said than done, right? Like, oh yeah, sure. Get pressure and force Pat Mahomes to keep walking backwards. But like, also he's the best quarterback in football. So if you make him do that, he's just going to hit 40-yard ropes that you've never seen before in your life. So I don't know. I think it's fun. What'd you say, Austin?
The Bills linebacker. I'm a little scared for the Bills linebackers who have played on and off decently, but like for the most part have been subpar against Travis Kelce. I think that's like a glaring problem that they're going to have to figure out.
They're specific, like I said, specifically Matt Milano and AJ Klein are not good in coverage. It's going to be tough sledding for them. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, and I think the Chiefs are gonna might have an issue with Buffalo because, the first time they played, it was 26-17. You know when the last time the Chiefs won a game by double digits was?
That game.
No. That's not. It was,
it was the Jets game
against the Jets.
Yeah, my bad.
They won 35-9. Then it was 33-31, 35-31.
I can don't read out all the stats. I can just tell you this. With the exception of week 17, the Chiefs have won every single game since the Jets game, and they haven't won any of them by more than 6 points.
Yeah, it's like I wasn't going to read out every single score. But there's something about this Chiefs team where they're not closing out teams like they were last year.
But also in the back of your head, it doesn't matter. Patrick Mahomes plays for him.
Well, I understand that, but there's I feel like when you're going up against a team like the Bills, the way the Bills have been playing, the Bills are the hottest team in football. Hands down. I was confused when people were saying any other team outside of the Bills were the hottest team in football going into the playoffs. They keep winning. They're blowing out teams when they get the opportunity. I don't know. I think it's going to be a really tough matchup for the Chiefs. I'm not going to come out here and say the Bills are definitely going to win, but I certainly wouldn't be surprised. I think not only do I think this is a better game than the NFC, the NFC Championship. You got Brady versus Rodgers, and the battle of the Bays, Green Bay versus Tampa Bay. But I just think this has all the makings to be the game of the year. Maybe I think this has a legitimate chance to be the best football game we watch this year. Very excited for it.
Yeah, I'm super excited for the game. Anybody else have anything to add?
Chiefs minus 20.5.
I like the Chiefs. That's all.
Like I said, I'm leaning Kansas City. I don't know if I'd put points on it. But like Mark said,
I just hope it's really fun.
What'd you say?
I just hope it's really fun and close the whole time.
I think it will be. I don't think we're going to see a blowout in this game.
I would be very surprised if we saw. If we, I can't say very surprised because the Chiefs could come out and do what they did to Tampa Bay, and Tyreek Hill could have 250 yards in the first quarter and the game's over. Like that could happen. Sure, it's happened.
Well, they won that game by 3.
Yeah, but they won
that game was
in the
not.
second
Like,
quarter.
the second quarter became garbage time. Like that game was not. That game was not remotely close.
It's still one of those things where it's like last year the Chiefs never would have let that game get close.
Yeah, but also like what I'm saying in terms of the fun factors, like that
TB12 method made that game.
That game was kind of boring because the Chiefs just ran out to a lead and then, yeah.
Yeah, I only watched the first half of that game. I didn't want to watch the second half.
So barring something like that, barring the Chiefs coming out and putting up 4 touchdowns in the first quarter or something like that, I think the game should be very fun. Who knows?
I agree.
We will have to see, and we'll discuss it on this very show next week. But in the meantime, that has been it for the Hot Stove Podcast episode. Where you had something to say? Okay.
Could we do like a little thing here where I show my screen to end off the show?
Yeah. Gotcha.
Something happened in the NBA like 5 minutes ago.
Is it Christian Wood getting hurt?
It is not Christian Wood getting hurt.
He rolled his ankle.
See that?
Oh, the Cole Anthony shot?
Yeah.
I didn't see this.
I hope it's not like. Is it chunky?
That's probably chunky. Yeah, it's chunky.
Yeah.
Well, he hits a fadeaway, bang, off a missed free throw. Let's check it again here by Vanderbilt, a lefty, classic. Up 2 with 4.5, gets the rebound, pushes it up, hits a fadeaway in Malik Beasley's mouth to win.
Oh, great! Because like your narrating probably top notch, right on.
Didn't see anything. Yeah. That's sad.
I watched it on my. They were showing it in the halftime show.
Oh yeah, I missed it.
That's tough.
Quite the highlight. Go look it up after the episode's done. Yeah.
It's a tough world we live in here.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
It happens. But anyways, yeah, this has been episode 16 of the Hot Stove Podcast. Next week we'll be back. We'll talk about the championship games, and I don't know what we're gonna do next week. We'll figure it out between now and then because we got a week before our Super Bowl show. So
we got snooker next week.
Right. We'll do a snooker and bowling episode.
Nice.
Has there been bowling events in the pandemic? Like, have they?
Yes, there have been.
Okay, I'd like to also say that they're showing the leaders in the NBA today. Clint Capella had 26 rebounds tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what a shot by Anthony! Holy shit, I just watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty wet.
Yeah.
Shout out to Clint Capella, I guess.
Thanks.
Yeah, big shout out to Clint Capella.
Anyways, for the third time, this has been episode 16 of the Hot Soap.
Wait, just one more thing.
Okay.
I don't actually have anything.
Okay, I thought you were going to play one more.
No, I was just being an asshole.
For my co-hosts, my name is Zach. I'd like to thank you for watching. Oh, also, make sure to follow us on Twitter at Hot Stove Pod. Not Hot Stove WYO, Hot Stove Pod. Make sure to smash that subscribe button. Smash that like button. Smash that notification button. And leave a comment if you feel like commenting. For all my co-hosts, my name is Zach Nunez. This has been the Hot Stove Podcast. We love you. Thank you for watching. We will see you guys next week.